longer. There we go. Trying to, doing a different location today because we have house guests. Derek's family is here as well as his brother, and I just got back from Salem yesterday evening, so we are in my bedroom. If you're catching me on replay, I'd love to see you in the comments telling me replay. So we're just gonna give everybody a few minutes to come in. How's everybody doing? Welcome in. I'd love to hear where you guys are from. Welcome to Monday's live that we do every Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 3 p.m. Eastern. So thank you all so much for joining me. For those of you that are just coming in, let me know where you guys are coming from. And if you're in the replay, let me know where you're watching from. Welcome in, welcome in. Let me know where you guys are coming in from. How are you guys doing? If you're just joining, thank you so much for joining our weekly live on Mondays at 12 PST. And if you're catching the replay, thanks again. Today we're gonna be talking all about pilling. I know we were gonna talk more about, I said about under eye bags. So I'm sorry if you brought your school supplies to today's masterclass. But we are gonna talk about pilling, and I'm gonna talk about why it does that, what it is, and how to rectify it, because it was asked so many times recently. And I promise next week we will do the under eye bags and walk you through how to get that done. I'm just kind of scrambling right now because of the house guests, and as well as I had to film a video and all of that good stuff. And then I've got to get back down in a little bit to take them to lunch. They're visiting from Michigan. That's where Derek's from. So are you guys, let me know. I don't see comments for some reason. Top comments, all messages, I guess. Are you guys commenting on the messages? Show the messages. Huh. If you guys are commenting, I can't see them. I don't know why. I can see my comments. Let's see. If you guys are commenting where you're from and we're just joining, can you give me a couple hearts so I know that you guys are there, and for some reason it looks like I'm just not getting them. There we are. Thank you, Loretta. I appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate you. Welcome in. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate those hearts. Thank you. Hi, Tracy. Hi from Oklahoma. All righty. And today is going to be your opportunity to ask questions as well. As always, Southern Oregon. What's the benefits of getting, what? I don't, benefits of, from Italy. Fantastic, Francesco. I love it. Welcome in. Okay, so since everybody's now kind of joining us, we are talking all about pilling. And what I do on every Monday is I do a masterclass in some form or shape of either a technique or something that is your burning question. I've gotten so many questions about pilling. So have you guys ever, and I want to hear from you guys in the chat, if you guys have ever put on makeup or skincare, this is not just a makeup thing, and all of a sudden you can kind of feel it, it kind of balls up on the skin. That is what we call pilling. And it's not a product that's supposed to do that. It's basically, you know, skincare, and then you put something else on top of it, and then you get these like weird balls on your skin. So that is called pilling. Let me know if the background noise is too much for you guys. I live in a construction zone right now. Let me close it actually. I moved into a new area for the house, and they are doing a park right here. So there's a lot of construction. Anyway, pilling. So pilling is basically from a lot of different things. So the first thing to consider if you're getting pilling done, hi from Colombia, welcome in. The first thing to do with pilling is you need to make sure that you are not applying your skincare too fast. So when we're doing, or like too back to back, and that's why we try to kind of steer away from this multi-step routine. So how many of my girls and boys, I guess, hi from Missouri, hi Jenny. I only have a couple of steps in my skincare routine, especially in the morning. We don't necessarily have to have multiple steps. We talked about this a million times. Hey, Sadie, how are you? Is that how you say your first name? Basically, when you're putting on, I'm great. Thank you for asking. So when we're putting on our skincare, first of all, we need to make sure that we are going from thinnest to thickest in our serums, and that's going to help step one. And what I mean by that is it's watery, as watery as we possibly can. So we're doing toners, essences, lightweight serums, more, thicker serums, that type of thing, going up into moisturizing. Moisturizers, which are going to be the heaviest. So if you guys are putting on skincare too quickly or too many layers, it's going to pill, or too much of it. This is why it's such a difficult topic to kind of address, because they're so multifaceted. So when we get into this, you have to think, am I doing too many layers for my skin? Am I doing them too quickly? And am I using too much of said product? So when we're talking about essences and toners, you really can kind of just pop them on pretty liberally. But when we're talking about serums, usually in serums, you only need to be using a dime size. Dime size, or I would say either a quarter size. So you don't want to actually end up doing more than that. Now, this is where we run into a lot of the problems. I am from Las Vegas in the United States. So when we run into these problems is from the standpoint of, we're going to put our sunscreen on, we're going to go into our foundation. You guys need to check the back labels of your skincare and of your SPF, and if you are going into foundation. So really, in the perfect world, they should have the same base. So for example, if you are going into a silicone-based or dimethicone-based SPF, and then you're going to go into a water-based or a glycerin-based foundation, you are going to have a tendency to get more pilling than having a SPF that has a dimethicone or silicone base, and then mirroring that into your foundation. Now, nowadays, most foundations come with silicone in it. I mean, it's just kind of most of their bases. I wish it wasn't that way, but it also is there as a great benefit. So it makes the skin smoother. It goes on a little bit more in a better way for the skin to look prettier, okay? And so when we're talking about that, we want to make sure, so a lot of my SPFs don't have silicone in them, but you have got to try this out. So my go-to SPF, as you guys have known, if you've followed me forever, I've been on here for about 13 years. Yes, I do use Instagram. It's the same name, Elle Leary Artistry. And I use Kinship. Kinship's SPF, their 30 SPF, is my go-to. It goes with every foundation. I never get pilling. And that is why I always go with it. So if you have an SPF that does not pill, I just would stick with it. A lot of people get pilling under their eyes from eye creams. Eye creams are notoriously filled with silicone because it fills in fine lines and wrinkles and gives a smoother surface to apply cosmetics on the top of it. So that's why we want to just it's almost unavoidable sometimes. So you got to find what works for you. There also is other ways. So you can actually be tearing up. A lot of us have kind of watery eyes. That will cause pilling as well. There's not a ton we can do about that one because eyes just have a tendency to be a little bit more watery. But when we're trying to, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So when we're trying to talk about this, try to go with the same formula as your SPF. So for example, if you do a sunscreen that is silicone based, go with a foundation that is silicone based. Now, the way to get around this, and again, if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I don't love primers. But if you keep getting this pilling, then you're going to have to do a primer that is in the same vein as your foundation. So most primers nowadays, if they're smoothing or fine line filling or something like that, they're going to have dimethicone in it, and then you're pretty good to use whatever foundation over it, okay? And then the last thing I am going to say is I want you to try your best to take your time when applying your skincare and your makeup. I know that that's not everybody's day, and I know that we don't all have time to do this, but I really, really want you to take more time, because what happens there is that it allows the products to sink in, settle, do what they're supposed to do, and not give you as much pilling. It's a big problem for a lot of people. Also, I will say, using Dermaflash, which is dermaplaning, we talked about it last week. Did we talk about it last week or the week before? That will also help with deterring pilling, because you don't have your barrier anymore. You don't have your vellus hair. So that is also something to consider. So, and I believe the young lady that asked me the question, I actually had it asked quite a bit on Instagram. I hope you're on for today, and I would love to know if you have any questions about that. So let me see if there's anything here that we want to address. Let me know if that's confusing, or if you have any other ideas or any other questions about that specifically, so I can help you address that. That's what this time is for. This time is to hang out together and ask questions. My favorite SPF is by a brand called Kinship, Kinship, and that is my favorite. It's hydrating. Yes, I am 46. I will be getting my head shape completely. Oh, okay, awesome. Actually, you need to make sure you use your SPF on your head. My daughter actually was bald for a while, and because of a health issue, and we also did that as well. So hats and SPF on there. So great question. Let's see here. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys wake up early. What skin type should I use? What skin type should I use silicone SPF? There's no specific skin type that you need to use for an SPF that's silicone based. I just highly recommend using an SPF. It is important, yes. And if you still are running into pilling, I would just cut down on your skincare routine and keep it simple. So essence, vitamin C, SPF, and then go into the regular of your routine. So yes, all right. Hair care tips. I have a lot of videos on my hair. This just has a salt spray in it right now. That's how I get this kind of wave in it. So let me know if you guys have any other questions about pilling. But really can use an SPF directly. Yes, absolutely, you can use an SPF directly on your head. Absolutely, and it's gonna be important, yeah, for sure. Yes, such a great question. Rainy days, should I use sunscreen? I love that. So I was just actually making a video on this about SPF. So I live in a climate that is very warm, but we're all here, most of us in the United States are going into winter. I promise you, you will still get good sun exposure even on cloudy, rainy days. So there is no day that I skip SPF. Thank you so much for being so engaged today on these comments. I really appreciate it. Right now it is 12:15. Yes. Hi, Marnie. So Dee, she's talking about how to fix her skin barrier. She has such dull skin. This is such a tough topic to talk about kind of broadly, because everybody has different needs since our skin is very different from one another. I do 30 minutes or 1 hour one-on-one conversations about skincare, but what I can give you is a general gist, D, which is you need to amp up your exfoliation, and usually for me that's going to be a chemical exfoliation. If you guys are new here, I'm an esthetician as well as a makeup artist. And so yes, Dee, I have dry skin as well. I also live in the desert. So you got to ramp up your exfoliation. I recommend a gentle exfoliation done with some sort of pads that have either glycolic or kojic acid or something like that, but they need to be gentle, that you can use almost every day. And then you need to ramp up your retinol use at night, no matter what retinol it is. You need to make sure, because you're getting that, the reason why it's dull and the reason why it's getting kind of lackluster is because of lack of exfoliation. And then I would recommend getting a facial once a month. I'm a big proponent of supporting my SDs out there. That will really help with that glow and getting that skin back. Oh, you're 14. Oh, wonderful. Welcome in. Yes, so you can get a pad by First Aid Beauty. They have something amazing, and then that will really, really help. And then if your parents will allow you, yes, it is okay, Dee, to use acids when you're of that age. Absolutely. They just have to be gentle. So the brand's called First Aid Beauty, and that is a great brand that I put all of my teens on. Is it okay to take a break from sunscreen? Absolutely. You can do whatever you want with your body and all of that good stuff. But if you want to use the best anti-aging tool we have, sunscreen is the one we're going to want to jump on and make sure we use. You're so welcome, Dee. Welcome in. We are happy to have you. We love a good community that is engaged in the comments and asking great skincare questions. I love it. Yes, and that actually, Dee, that might help some of the parents in here to know that as well. You're having hair thinning issues. Oh, he's a 17-year-old boy. Awesome. Shaving your head, that's really going to be more of somebody that understands that specifically. But if you have a hairstylist, absolutely ask them. But shaving your hair will just allow it to kind of grow in all at once at the same kind of time frame. In my best guess, it would not help with hair loss. That's more of like a topical something that you put on, or an internal supplement. So you're gonna have to ask your mom or dad about that, or your caregiver, because since you're underage, I cannot give you information on that. So you're welcome. Hi, Mia. How are you? Is it Maya or Mia? What's a good exfoliator for people with rosacea? So Janice, I actually have rosacea, if you wouldn't have known that. If you're new here, welcome in. I'm seeing so many new faces. This is awesome. So a great exfoliator for people with rosacea are going to be, I'm a big proponent of pads, like chemical exfoliant pads. Again, First Aid Beauty is great because it's gentle. Also Medicube. It's a K-Beauty brand. They have a lot of great gentle exfoliators, and that is great for people with rosacea. Shouldn't be doing skincare except for, okay, well, that's totally your opinion. Thank you for sharing that. If you're licensed, I deal with teenagers all the time. So a little bit of a chemical exfoliation is totally fine for a 14-year-old. Awesome. So any other questions? I love the rosacea questions. That's fantastic. But yes, so if you guys don't have any more questions, I might pop off. Thanks. Yeah, I don't have styling hair techniques. I'm so sorry, but definitely your hair stylist will absolutely have those recommendations for you, since that's more of their world, since I do more skin and makeup. All good, kidney, no problems, no problems. I hope you have a great day, kidney. This might not be the place for you. Thank you so much. Hi, you're welcome, Janice. And if you have any other questions, feel free to pop into Instagram and ask me. Absolutely, I would be happy to answer that. All right, so thank you all so much for being here. I have some new videos going up live this week, so you can catch those. And again, thank you. And if you have any more questions in the comments, I go back, later on this evening and tomorrow and answer more questions in the comments and can answer you there. So I hope you have a great rest of your guys' day. Take care. Bye-bye.